Shout out to James for dropping this comment amidst all of the anger and frustration felt from everyone regarding ArcRaiders' release date. It all makes sense now, so their reasoning for doing this is making sense too. He said, and I quote, "There's a culture factor that got hugely missed. Embark is in Sweden, and they take their work-life balance extremely seriously. Most of Embark gets a summer vacation, and it would be insane to launch a game with as much hype on a skeleton crew. The delay was bad, but a game with no support from the devs would be worse." Facts. So check this out. A lot of people were wondering why ArcRaiders didn't drop during the summer, and this is one of the most overlooked reasons. Sweden. EmbarkStudios is based out of Sweden, if you didn't know. And over there, summertime is different. It's not just a few people taking off. Like, legally and culturally, almost everyone takes several weeks off between late June and early August. Whole teams go quiet. Support staff, even marketing. And if you're dropping a live service game, you cannot afford to be running with a skeleton crew. It's just not smart. That's why aiming for an October release actually makes a lot of sense. You come out of that quiet summer period in August, ramp the team back up in September, tighten all the final polish, set your marketing on fire, and boom, full force launch in October with the whole squad active and ready to go. So yeah, it's not a delay, it's a strategy. Dropping in October means they get to hit hard when everyone's back rested and at full capacity. And that's exactly what a game like ArcRaider needs. But I need to express something more, because how could a game have so much positive feedback and almost zero that is negative? The only quote unquote negative talks are about that there's PvP and PvE players don't like PvP. But I need you to hear me out. ArcRaiders is a game that will literally define a generation and break many molds that are repeated in the extraction shooter genre. It can be a game for everyone, regardless of PvE or PvP preference. Do you know how many PvE players that I know and that I don't know are completely ignoring that they are PvE players for the simple fact that they want to enjoy what ArcRaiders has to offer as a game? Just because this game has a strong PvP element doesn't mean that everyone wants to gank you and steal your loot. There have been tons of meaningful PvEvP engagements that overshadow the bloodlust aspect. Look, instances where players would attack someone else, then that victim would outplay both of the attackers, down them both while in an extraction zone, only to let them live so that everyone gets out alive. Or just stumbling across another player who is scavenging. And with proximity chat being an amazing feat, you decide to help one another get through whatever it is you're both trying to accomplish. That's because the world, the Rust Belt, is filled with a menacing and actual scary enemy known as arcs. The environmental storytelling that these machines lend enough to get lost in the PvE side of things, almost forcing players to work together and fight off these forces in this post-apocalyptic masterpiece. Speaking of which, mastery objectives or missions given to you by the NPCs in Speranza. Not timed, by the way, so you can complete these at your leisure. And these can reward you with premium currency and you don't feel like you're getting robbed. A lot of you are saying that I'm only playing this if they add a PvE mode. Only. Listen here. The PvE mode is interwoven within the game already. Think of it this way. ArcRaiders players are like people and experiences in real life. You have sadists, but you can usually see the signs, so you stay clear of them. You have good Samaritans that just want to help. You have players who are rude, but don't take it too far. So navigating the Rust Belt is like real life. This is why video games are so revolutionary. People get the chance to immerse themselves and truly showcase their true colors. With the third person aspect, this gives you even more of an advantage when it comes to combat with this awesome parkour and the spatial awareness it offers. The field of view allows you to really capitalize on all of the advantages you have. So take, for example, how one can peek around a corner and see the other player while they cannot see you. Well, some people may see this as cheese when in reality, it's not. Let me explain. There are two types of third-person players. One who runs around out in the open, impatient, and becomes an easy target. For the number two type of player who's pretty much the opposite. Plays smart, calculated. Third person is not cheese when you both have the opportunity to turn the tide of battle at any moment. If you don't like the idea of someone camping behind a wall, then just always assume someone is. Utilize the amazing sound design to try and find out or flush them out with a grenade. Use an arc to distract or put the attention on them. All I'm trying to do is explain more reasons why you should get this game as if you needed one. Because all ArcRaiders does is make you a better gamer. And this is also reinforced by the skill tree, a system that makes you even better than that. By increasing your stamina, making you a more effective looter, or increasing your survival skills. This is permanent, by the way, a feature far removed from many of the extraction shooters or extraction games nowadays. But everything in ArcRaiders makes you better. Just this one feature really caught my eye, where you can, when falling from a certain height, perform a dodge roll at just the right moment to ignore fall damage. This is so cool, and it reminds me of the Gears of War active reload that increases your weapon damage if you land that perfect reload at just the right moment. I mean, it's all connected. Parkour is great also. You can literally grab almost any ledge, including arcs. You can ride drones. The realism involved with the encumbrance altering the way you climb, or how when you're out of stamina, there's a visual representation of you being tired. There's only so much I can tell you about how great this game is, but without actually playing it, you'll never really know how it feels, which is why I'm trying to give you multiple reasons to play and explain why October, aside from the summer vacations Sweden takes, is the perfect time to release, because greatness needs time to cook. Another aspect, and I'm going to stop rambling on because this video is getting long, but another aspect I wanted to briefly go over is the detail of looting in ArcRaiders. I will have a separate video discussing this in more detail, but even the looting makes sense. Loot in general comes from enemy design. Not only that, you also get the randomness, right? Through field caches and supply crates scattered across high-risk areas. You never know what you'll find in them. It could be a breakthrough or it could be just bait. But when I say looting makes sense, here's what I mean. There are different types of arcs in the game, okay? Take, for example, the snitch arc, the one that gives away your position. That flying unit that alerts nearby enemies. And if you kill them, what do you get? You can possibly get a snitch grenade built straight from its distress system. I'm theory crafting how this can work. But you can throw it and draw enemies away. If you destroy one of those flame arcs, the roll bots, you know, the ones that roll up on you and just set you on fire, you get a fireball burner. Scavenge directly from its fuel rig or whatever. Knock out a taser drone and you can loot a jolt mine that shocks the enemy. Their own stun tech is now in your hands. You can even loot shield recharge modules. So you're not just picking up random gear. Well, you are, which is why it's so great, because it's a mixed bag of unpredictability and certainty at the same time. Look, all I'm saying is that you should give EmbarkStudios some grace, for one, because of this whole summer vacation thing that I had no idea about, and just the fact that, you know, just their game in general, people were excited. We were really hype. We're still hype about it, and we wanted the game right now. And that's just because how great the game is. But more importantly, I have never seen a game that had so much praise and almost zero negativity, and rightly so. This is not fluff. This is not people blowing smoke. Players actually mean it, and that's for a lot of reasons. But I'm done talking about this. There's so much more I can talk about. Night raids, overall gameplay mechanics, whatever. I mean, what do you want to know about the machine learning, how that's implemented with physics-based mechanics that the arcs have, and how it affects combat? Yeah, all of that stuff. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. I really want to talk about this because, you know, the hype train is moving and I want to keep it moving. I really don't think it's going anywhere, even with this 4-month wait that we have. Alright fam, that'll do it for this one. I'll see you in my next video. Be right out.